Yes, it has happened. Again. I suppose there truly is no rest for the wicked. Wendy Sabatini was a regular woman from Greensburg, Indiana. She was a mother and even a grandmother. She liked to hike in the woods, take vacations with her girlfriends. She even helped one of them to lose weight and get her health together. By all accounts, Wendy Sabatini was well liked by everyone, even her ex-husband, who she'd had children by. So when she mentioned that there was a new guy in her life, everyone just assumed that things would go well, especially Wendy. But Wendy Sabatini would soon discover that when it comes to white-on-white crime, first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes the coroner. October 25th, 2016, Greensburg, Indiana. Greensburg is a tiny enclave of a little over 11,000 people. According to the census data, the town is over 97% white, which means it's practically all white. To see them present themselves, they are the epitome of small-town America. That is to say, a bunch of barely literate white folks still trying to live out some real-life Mayberry. They had themselves fooled for a good long time, but the reality of white criminality can't be covered up for long, no matter how many Harvest Homecoming queens you have. Wendy Sabatini was a local woman from Greensburg, a mother and recently grandmother. She still lived with one of her sons in her home on East Washington Street. She had recently begun a relationship with Jason Eaton. Jason apparently thought the relationship was going somewhere, so he decided to surprise her last Tuesday, October 25th, by presenting her with an engagement ring. He went to her home and upstairs to her bedroom, but as soon as she saw the ring, she immediately said no. And that's something that Eaton brought up in all of his accounts. The fact that she didn't even give him a chance to pop the question, that she just immediately turned him down flat, out of hand. Well, I suppose that was too much for this guy's white ego to take, because he immediately got a gun out of the nightstand, came up behind Wendy Sabatini, and shot her in the back of the head. Eaton then went to the police station and turned himself in. The cops went to Sabatini's home, where they found her son, who had just gotten in and was downstairs eating dinner, oblivious to the fact that his mother was not at work as he believed. Police went upstairs, where they discovered Sabatini's corpse. Eaton has been charged with murder. It's not known who his legal counsel is, but he may not need one, because according to him, the gun just went off. I suppose the gun just magically put itself into his hand too, right? Then the gun in his hand just mysteriously floated over to Sabatini and elevated itself into position to kill her too. Man, where do white people get these magical guns from? And Jason Eaton isn't the only one bestowing innocence upon this crime. The Howard family, who lives right next door to the deceased, have also decided that this was all just some terrible accident. I'm not making that up. Patty Howard said, "I think it was just an accident myself. They got along. They were good together. I just think it was an accident." Now, this woman didn't really know Jason Eaton. She doesn't give any avowals as to his morality, but don't worry, they were a cute couple, so it must have been an accident. This is the white mentality in a nutshell. The myth of white morality is the foundation of the white supremacist mindset, and even in the face of damning evidence, they still can't let it go. They can't afford to, because that lie helps them rationalize every act of savagery they've committed to perpetuate their racially privileged status. And there's one other thing I want to highlight about this case. It's the way the white media is handling it. And it wasn't what I saw, rather what I didn't see. Because for those of you who have noticed this story and read up on it already, I'm sure you probably noticed that not one of the white media outlets reporting this murder has called it domestic violence. Not only does the white media not put that in their headlines, they don't even put that in the body of any of their articles. The white TV stations who reported it don't mention it on their broadcasts either. Now, a man murders his girlfriend, and that doesn't qualify as domestic violence? Because that's not what they did when they were smearing Ray Rice. They told lie after lie and distortion after distortion in their media jihad to make black men the face of domestic violence in America, even though Rice's girlfriend admitted that she started the fight and that she was in the wrong. When it comes to reporting all crimes, the white media makes it a point to try to associate black men with the crime itself. Meanwhile, they try to distance white people from their acts. The crime becomes incidental when a white person is involved. Where are the white feminists in all this, I wonder? Where is Gloria Allred? Where are the white liberals demanding stronger penalties for the mistreatment of women? The same way that not one white person in the media is looking into criminal charges against Trump, no white authorities will look into this. There's no black people to arrest. This is the real small-town America, a microcosm of white criminality and savagery. What Jason Eaton did is no different than what's happening in every other white enclave. The only difference is this one made the news for a hot minute. So far, there's no information on Jason Eaton's criminal record, nor Wendy Sabatini's for that matter. But Eaton's a white thug, so what do you think? Whatever charges are against him now will predictably be downgraded. Patty Howard has made it clear what a white jury in Greensburg would conclude. The guy confesses to killing his girlfriend, but he's white, so it's not really a crime. The core principle that whites are to be immune from law must be maintained at all costs, even if that cost is the lives of other white people. Wendy Sabatini was just in the wrong place at the wrong time as far as her white neighbors are concerned. Her children and grandchild will need to accept that their mother and grandmother was taken away from them because murder is a legally protected right for white people. That there is no rule of law in America, only the rule of white supremacy. Wendy Sabatini doesn't matter because under white supremacy, life itself doesn't matter, not even white lives. All that matters is white power. And the truest measure of power under white supremacy is the extent to which you can abuse it. And what greater abuse can there be than to murder someone simply because they didn't do the smallest thing that you wanted them to? Wendy Sabatini has become a human sacrifice to white privilege, and none of her white friends or family will call it out. No white politician will demand mandatory sentencing guidelines for this. No one in the white media has called this domestic violence, nor will they. This is not some anomaly, by the way. This is just white culture. And it's past time white people found the nerve and morality to say it. But they won't. They never do. And so, it won't be long at all before I have to report to you about yet another tragedy in the self-inflicted genocide of white-on-white crime.